What's going on, guys? Amazing Watch here, back with another video, and today we're going to be going over the Akumu Guild Boss Guide. So let's get into it. Alright, so as you guys can see here, I have accumulated 6,000 points in the new Akumu Guild Boss. Now I'm going to be teaching you guys how to get up to 6,000 points, or maybe even higher depending on your comps. I'm just going to put a disclaimer out at the beginning of the video. For Extreme, if you want to hit above 3,000 at all, you're gonna need a really high duped out Lost Vein Meliodas and at least a 1 out of 6 Goddess Elizabeth. So I'm just gonna give you that right now so you guys know in advance. But I'm still going to show you guys how you can get about like 2,000 plus score on the extreme difficulty, but these two scores still apply. So if you get the 2,000 there, you're going to get about 4,500 score if you get about 2,000 score on extreme, and then get about the same amount of scores on hard and normal as I did. So we're going to be going over each fight. We're going to be going over normal, hard, and extreme. I'm showing you the comps and what you guys need to be doing. Alright, so for the normal difficulty, this is the team I like to run right here. We got Red Gilther, Blue Team Meliodas, Blue Lilia, and Omega Rugal. And you can actually sub Hauser in for Omega Rugal. I just use Omega Rugal because of how powerful his Pierce card is. Yeah, any Pierce unit really works here. You don't have to bring Rugal, but you know, he's just here. So for the normal fight, if we actually go to phase 1 here, there's only one phase of the fight. Basically, what's going to happen is the boss is going to put up a stance on his shield card, and then his sword card is going to do the damage, I think. And then what's going to happen is you're going to want to have to kill all three of these things either at the same time, or you're going to want to kill two of them at the same time, because if you kill the shield and the sword, the boss becomes immune to damage, and you don't want him to be immune. You want to be able to kill him before he can become immune. So I'm going to be showing you guys the hard version right here. I have a pre-recorded clip, and I'll be doing a voiceover of what I do in the fight. Alright guys, so we loaded into the fight here. This is a pre-recorded clip, so I'm just doing a voiceover of what I'm doing in the fight. First turn, you're just going to want to waste all your dead cards that aren't Pierce cards really. So you waste the AoE from Gother, the Corrosion from Melee, you got Lilia's AoE as well, and then the attack down on Rugal. You're going to want to waste all those cards. And then we just wait to see what the Akumu does. So this is because it is the normal difficulty, this one's going to be super easy. If your team's really built up, you're not going to have to worry really about your health. It shouldn't really be much of an issue because of how powerful units are nowadays in Grand Cross. But if your team is around like 180 KCC, you should be fine. So what you want to do here is you want to start chucking your Pierce cards here. What I did right here is I just used my melee, and then I merged Rugal, did a level 3, and right there it was the finish of the fight. It was pretty quick. There wasn't really much needed here. You just want to nuke down the boss with your Pierce cards on the second turn, and then you finish off with about 900 score here, which is a pretty good score. So that's going to be the normal fight. Now we're going to be hopping into the hard difficulty. Alright, so now we're going to go over the hard difficulty of the Akumu boss. So if we go to hard, the team is actually going to be the same team here, but your approach is going to be a little bit different this time around because of the boss's HP. He's actually going to be more tanky this time, and he does have ult reduction on one of his skills. Last fight he didn't have ult reduction on his skills, but now that he does, that's something to note. He also has a heal diminished HP card, which is another thing to note of. But other than that, same things apply. You want to make sure you're able to kill either all three of these parts right here, or you're going to want to kill the boss when he has the shield and himself, or the sword and himself, depending on the situation. So we're going to hop into the hard version of the fight. I have a pre-recorded clip as well, and I'm going to be doing a voiceover of what you should be doing throughout the fight. Alright, so we've loaded into the hard version of the fight here. We're going to do the same thing as we did last time, where we're just going to waste all our dead cards. So we're going to waste the Corrosion, the attack disable from Gother, the AoE on Lilia, and the attack reduction on Rugal there. And once we're done with that, we're going to see the Akumu guild boss do some damage to us right here. We do draw a pretty good hand right here with some nice Pierce cards. We got a attack down on Rugal as well. We have another Lilia AoE there. The main important thing though is going to be your Pierce cards, because you want to get as many Pierce cards as you can for this fight to just clear the boss HP. So right here I use the Rugal cards. We also just waste the Lilia card and the attack down from Rugal, I assume. Yep. So we just drop that. And we also get the bonus points from actually doing the type effective damage, which is good. So we're just going to waste those cards. So now that the boss is really low on health, especially with the shield and the sword, I'm actually forced to rank up Meliodas and do a level 3 Pierce card here. And the reason for doing that is because we want to be able to one-shot the entire enemy field here, because if we don't one-shot the entire enemy field, the boss is going to become immune to damage, and you don't want that to happen. So I just waste the Corrosion there. We rank up the melee to get the level 3 Pierce, and it one-shots the Akumu guild boss right there. We finish off with about 1400 score. You're gonna average around 1400, 1500 score. You could probably get a little higher maybe if you get a faster clear, or maybe like more Corrosion or something to increase your score. There's not really much to increase your score really, other than clearing it fast and having high HP. But other than that, it's just a solid score right there, 1400, 1500. Alright, so now that we're done the hard and the normal versions of the guild boss, we're going to be going over the Akumu extreme difficulty with the Pierce comp. So I'm going to have two comps for this fight right here. As I explained at the beginning of the video, you can actually run this comp right here, or you can run this comp right here, depending on how built up your Lost Vein Meliodas is. And if you have all four of these units right here, I would definitely recommend you run this comp over the Pierce comp right here, because you're going to get a way higher score with this comp. But I'm gonna assume, I'm not gonna like say an exact alt level, but you're probably gonna want at the bare minimum a 4-6 or higher Lost Vein Meliodas. I'm not completely sure about if you need that exact like dupe level or higher, but I did mine at 6 out of 6 for my showcase here for the guild boss, and he was actually able to just wipe the entire field pretty easily. So right now we're going to be going over the pen comp first, just to show you guys what you're able to do with pen. So we're running the exact same team again, Red Gother, Blue Team Meliodas, Lilia, and Rugal. For the fight, there's actually going to be two phases now, which is a little bit different than the last time. On the first phase, he's going to have a remove buff card, AoE, cancel stances as well. He's also going to have the heal diminished HP card. Same thing applies. You want to make sure you're able to kill either two or all three of them at the exact same time to be able to not get the immunity buff on him. Once you move into phase 2, he starts to get a little bit harder. He gets the ult reduction card from the hard fight now, and his heal is actually increased in power. For his ultimate here, he does co-destruction, so depending on how many buffs he applies on you, he'll be able to do a ton of damage there. Again, the same thing applies here. You want to make sure you're able to one-shot the boss all together with these with the sword and the shield. If you're able to do it with just the sword or just the shield, that'll work as well, but you want to make sure you're able to do that so he doesn't get the immunity. Alright, so now that we've gone over the boss itself, let's hop into the actual fight where we go over what you should be doing. Alright, so we've just loaded into the extreme version of the Akuma guild boss. We're going to do the exact same thing as we did on the normal and the hard version, where we just waste all our dead cards. So the Gother AoE, the Corrosion, the Lilia AoE, and Rugal's attack down. And we'll just wait here to see what he does when he attacks us. We actually got a pretty good hand right there. We got another Gother rank up, and we got a level 2 Rugal Pierce card. So what we're going to do here now is actually just chip down the boss. So what we do is we merge the rank up. We use the rank up. We use a level 2 Rugal and a level 2 Meliodas right there. And we're going to do a pretty good chunk of damage here. About 158k, and then Rugal does his AoE. We're going to do 135k right there. So we draw another 2 Meliodas cards, and we also have another Rugal card as well. So what we do here is we use the regular Meliodas Pierce card, we use the level 3 Rugal, we do the level 3 heal on Lilia, and we actually just wasted an AoE on Gotha right there. And as you guys can see, we broke the shield, or we broke the sword, but the shield was still alive, and so we were able to clear the fight right there, and we get the full heal. Alright, so now that we're in the second phase here, we actually got a really good hand here. As you guys can see, like look at the amount of Pierce cards we have in our hand. So what we do here is we just waste the AoE on Gotha. We're going to actually just move Meliodas' card, use one of Rugal's, and use the level 1 of Meliodas. Just so we have a ton of cards here to nuke down the boss on the next turn. Because he is going to take away my Gotha ult, but we need to have a lot of AoE Pierce cards to do enough damage to one-shot him right here. Right here, I'm just deciding what I really want to do. I don't know what I'm sure on doing here, just to make sure I don't one-shot the boss, but I actually just use the Rugal Pierce card. We do the level 3 Meliodas and the level 3 Rugal Pierce card just to see how much we can do here. And the guild boss loses the sword, and the shield becomes like super one-shot right there. So what happens is the boss actually gets a lot stronger when he loses his sword, so you want to try and kill him as fast as you can once he's lost one of his either the sword or the shield there. And Rugal actually full heals because of his passive, and all my units are really low on health. Just another thing to note, we could have got a little bit of a higher score here, but I go over to check Rugal's stats and we got a lot of Pierce right there. So what I do is I rank up Rugal, I merge his Pierce card, and I drop the level 3 Pierce card to take him out, also using the Corrosion in before that to get the extra points, and it's a wrap right there. Rugal just finishes off the Akumu guild boss. We actually finish off with a pretty good score right there, about 2,150. It could have been a little bit higher, obviously. My health was really low at the end of that fight. You can get around like 2,500 maybe. You could probably push for 3,000, but it's going to be really hard. But let me know in the comment section if you guys are able to get 3,000 or higher with the Pierce comp. Alright, so now we're going to be going over the extreme fight of the Akuma guild boss with the Lost Vein comp right here. So basically what you're going to do with this comp for the fight is you're going to try and rush Lost Vein ult twice in the fight. You're going to rush it on the first phase, and you're also going to rush it on the second phase. In the fight right here, on the second phase, something super crucial to note is you want to have a level 3 shield from Goddess Elizabeth to be able to let Lost Vein be able to ult, because the boss does have ult reduction on the second phase right here. So if you go over here, the boss does have ult reduction, so you want to make sure you're able to drop the level 3 shield on the second phase of the fight so that the boss isn't able to break the shield, so you can get the Lost Vein ultimate off. Just another thing to note as well, my Lost Vein Meliodas is 6 out of 6, so this is a pretty high min-max Lost Vein Meliodas attack crit damage at 6 out of 6, so he's going to be doing as much damage as possible in the guild boss fight right here. And my Goddess Elizabeth is only 1 out of 6. You don't really need to have her ultimate, really. Her ultimate is nice to have going into the second phase, so if you're able to get the ultimate for second phase, definitely get it. But other than that, you want to have a level 3 Liz shield on the second turn or on the second phase of the fight. Alright, so we just loaded into the fight here, and what we're going to do on the Akumu guild boss is we're just going to actually waste all our dead cards here. So we're going to waste the level 1 stun from Liz, the AoE on Gother, the level 1 shield, and the AoE on Lilia right there. What you're going to want to have on the second turn right there is to draw as many Lost Vein Meliodas cards as possible, preferably a hand like that, which is really good. This fight is going to take some RNG to get through, obviously, because you're going to need a lot of Lost Vein Meliodas cards and also Liz shield cards. So as you can see, the boss just crits the Lost Vein, gets him to level 3 pretty easily. We also have Gother stacking up his passive because of the way we've set up our team. And so what I do here is I actually rush the Lost Vein Meliodas ult, and we just move his cards twice just so we're able to get the ultimate on the next turn. Alright, so I actually just draw a rank up there, which is super helpful because I'm going to be able to use that on the next turn of the fight to actually rank up the Goddess Elizabeth shield. But what we do on this part of the fight is we actually just waste the ultimate here and just move our cards with Elizabeth to rush her ultimate. So we just rush Elizabeth's ultimate, we merge the Gotha rank up, and we drop the Lost Vein Meliodas ult. And because I'm 6 out of 6 with 3 cards in hand, it is a complete wipe on the boss. Moving into the second phase of the fight right here, we actually drop the perfect hand possible. We get the ult on Elizabeth right there, and we actually just have another shield to actually pull up. We top deck another shield, so we rank up. So the shield is level 3, and we actually just move Meliodas cards here to try and rush his ultimate. So we get the Liz ult off. We rank up the shield. And then what happens is we actually draw a Fill Ultimate Move Gauge card by Lost Vein Meliodas, which is super clutch in this fight. I'm not going to lie, a lot of this is really RNG based with this team right here, but if you can actually execute it well, you'll be able to get a really high score for your guild. So we drop the level 3 single target with Lost Vein. We move his card right there, and we use the Liz shield so we don't take damage on the next turn. We don't want the guild boss to be able to take our ultimate move gauge, and so dropping the level 3 makes it so he's not able to break the shield. Alright, and so what happens here is I just drop the Lost Vein Meliodas ultimate, and we waste the rest of our cards, and it's GG at that point because the boss can't really do anything. You literally just one-shot him with the Meliodas ult. Because I have 3 cards in hand, it is a complete wipe. And for the score right there, we actually get 3,500 score on the extreme difficulty of the fight. So as you guys can see, there's a really big jump for using Lost Vein in this fight. A really high duped Lost Vein is what you need, so it is kind of hard for the average player to be able to do that, especially because you need a Goddess Elizabeth as well. But this part of the video right here is kind of just meant for any whales out there that have a Lost Vein Meliodas 6 out of 6 and you want to push your guild to the top ranks. Lost Vein Meliodas is going to clutch up for you if you are in a high ranked guild and you need as much points as possible. You don't have to run this team comp. You can actually just run the pen team and do perfectly fine, as I showed you guys already. But that's basically it for the extreme difficulty. And that's how you're going to be able to get 6,000 plus score on the new Akumu guild boss. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you want to see more videos like this in the future, let me know in the comment section below. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.